What's good, LATD Nation, man? This your you know what? Y'all know who we are by at this point, man. And today we're gonna be looking at the details of Gladiator 2, starring.
You got Paul Mescal, Pedro Pascal, and of course the one and only, the legendary Denzel Washington.
Yes, sir. You already know we big fans of Denzel. Shoot, y'all see the poster right here?
Yes, sir. Training Day review at some point.
Yeah, at some point, a little old school review for y'all.
Yeah, why not?
Stay tuned.
I'll be down for that. But yeah, getting into Gladiator, we don't really need a whole lot of background. Everybody kind of knows this is I don't want to say long awaited, but kind of sort of the intriguing sequel to the legendary 2000 classic, also directed by Ridley Scott, starring Russell Crowe, in what many describe as kind of sort of his breakthrough role as Maximus, who is a Roman general who ends up getting thrown into the gladiator arena and ends up having to fight for not only his freedom but also the future of Rome. And if you haven't seen the movie, spoilers, sorry, but at the end, of course, Maximus dies, but he's survived by his son Lucius, who is the son of Lucilla. Lucilla being the sister of Commodus, Joaquin Phoenix's character, the main antagonist of the movie.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it kind of left off on a space where, you could argue that it really probably didn't need a sequel, but it is 2024. It's Hollywood. We already know how this goes. So
yeah, remakes and sequels that come out the wazoo in this day and age.
Exactly. And with this movie, when it was first announced, I was intrigued by it because, I like the original a lot, but I didn't watch it until very recently. So it's not a movie that I grew up with and was like a huge fan of like that. So I'm not one of these people who's like, oh, well, the original's perfect and, we don't need a sequel, this, that, and the third. Because I don't really have as much attachment to the original as a lot of other people. So
yeah, same.
I was interested in it, especially with the announcement that Denzel Washington, one of my favorite actors of all time, is starring in the movie. So I was like, okay, at first you had my curiosity, now you got my attention.
Exactly. No, I think this movie is actually pretty good.
I agree. Starting off with the positive, first and foremost,
the performances.
Yeah, Paul Mescal, in my opinion, does give a very good performance as Lucius.
Yes, sir. And fun fact, he's originally called Heron in the movie, or Hero.
Something like that. But I think he's using it kind of as like a disguise, like sort of like
an alias.
Yeah, he's using it as an alias to kind of disguise who he really is.
Right, because the thing is that they figure out who he really is, and the next thing you know, the throne's gone.
Because in the original movie, Lucius actually ends up getting sent away. And so he ends up kind of far and removed from Rome and his heritage and his lineage. And so he kind of plays somebody, he's removed from everything that he's supposed to be. He's the rightful prince of Rome, but he doesn't accept that. He wants to live a sort of peaceful and sort of off the grid kind of life.
So kind of like a secluded lifestyle with his wife and everything.
Yeah. And
should we spoil?
I mean, nah. I feel like this is definitely kind of sort of a pretty big plot point. So let's go ahead and just say some things happen and he ends up getting captured and taken back to Rome to participate in gladiator combat, of course, where he meets Macrinus, played by Denzel.
Yeah, when Macrinus in this movie or Denzel's in this movie, and like I'm gonna tell y'all now, this dude Macrinus is more than likely Alonzo Harris's ancestor or something, because this dude is conniving. He's definitely like a really conniving person, scheming person. He's very manipulative. Like there's always something
it's
that
always
he isn't
an
telling
ulterior
you.
Motive.
Exactly.
And with him, basically what he is, he starts out kind of being. What would you describe him as?
How can we put it? Like he's kind of like a sports bettor, I guess.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. And so he comes into.
He's Lucius's handler.
Yeah, he's a handler. There you go. That's a good way to describe it. And he kind of picks out talent to sort of fight in the arena
on his behalf. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing that's great about this character, played excellently by Denzel.
Oh, yeah.
Is that, like you said, he's very conniving, he's very scheming. You don't really know what his overall plan is. He kind of makes sort of a deal with Lucius at the beginning that I will get you your freedom. But as the movie unfolds, you start to question where his true loyalty is and where his goals really are.
Exactly.
It kind of sort of shifts and moves throughout the movie, so it kind of keeps you on your toes, kind of guessing.
But ultimately, like, you could probably tell from the outset that his main goal was really just power.
Oh yeah.
Because look at all the stuff that he wears. He wears a bunch of jewelry with the robes and everything in the movie. And really what he wanted to offer, I don't want to, correct you or nothing, but he really offers Lucius revenge, though.
Yeah.
But, if you see the movie, then you'll know why he wants revenge and everything. But, like, this dude really is the main, he steals the show for me personally.
I agree. Like, Denzel's performance is stand out. A lot of people have been saying that he's going to get an Oscar nomination. I don't know about that. But if he did, I wouldn't be too mad at it. I do think Denzel really poured his heart into this movie, and I think that it really does show. He's having a lot of fun.
Yeah,
you can tell Denzel is having the time of his life. Like, this is kind of a role that he took serious, but at the same time, he was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and just enjoy this, because he's been in the business over 40 years. This is like, he's done everything he needs to do. But it's really great to see Denzel at this point in his career still giving these kinds of performances and showing his passion and just his love for what he does. So I actually think that he sort of steals the show almost entirely away from Paul, because I feel like Paul Mescal does give a serviceable to great performance, but he's not anything to write home about. Yeah, I can't see him getting nominated for Best Actor.
Not really, because the thing is, what holds him back is this really just the script and the direction of the movie. Because he's very much that he's not like how Russell Crowe was in the original. Like, he has like a certain goal to free the people and this, that, and the third.
Yeah, exactly.
But his main goal through the majority of the movie is just, I want to get this dude who ruined my life. You know what I'm saying? He just wants revenge. He's very kind of one dimensional. It isn't until
his whole goal is really to get revenge on General Ocasio, played by Ocasio, whatever,
played by Pedro Pascal. But like, because Pedro Pascal he works for Rome as well. He works for the two twin emperors. One of which is played by Fred Heckinger.
However you want to pronounce it.
Something like that. No
disrespect. And Joseph Quinn.
Yeah.
Of Stranger Things fame, of course.
Oh, word. Okay, cool. So he's pretty much he's the general of the Roman army and everything. And this dude doesn't like those emperors at all either. He don't like those little twin brothers. I don't blame him.
Them two got on my nerves bad in this movie. Like, them two, every time they would talk, I was like, man, somebody kill this nigga already. These niggas.
Honestly. Right. And I'm like, and I was happy when it happened too. But we won't say who kills him.
Yeah. We won't say what happens, of course.
Right.
But just know it does happen.
But the thing is with them, like, even those characters are kind of cartoonish. They were just kind of like there. Like, they didn't really serve much of a purpose.
Yeah.
To the movie as a whole. But anyway,
they were just kind of there as kind of a setup, plot device for what was going on in the game. I feel like they weren't really meant to be the main antagonists. They were just kind of there as placeholders. But again, we won't get into too many spoilers or whatever the case may be. But
I feel like we kind of did.
We low-key did, but it is what it is now. The movie's already been out for a while.
Yeah, true. But like, overall, like, to kind of wrap up the positives, like I said, the performances are really good. Even though Lucius is held back by the script and everything.
Yeah,
Paul Mescal, his performance is really good. Same thing with Pedro Pascal.
He's definitely charismatic in the role. He definitely is a good casting choice for Lucius. I do think that he did the role well.
Right, but you already know. And Connie Nielsen playing Lucilla, Lucius's mother. She did a serviceable job as well.
She did. It was cool to see her back in the role after all these years, of course.
But you already know, Denzel, he stole the show.
He did.
He as he normally does in all of his movies, man. Like, Denzel is easily my favorite actor of all time. So you already know.
Yeah, no. So for me, Denzel, he definitely. I wouldn't say the movie wouldn't have been good without him, but he does a lot for the movie in this plot. He does, and he has a big role in the movie.
Now, for some of the negatives. Yeah. For me, the movie itself was a tad bit too long.
Yeah.
Because there would be times where there's a bunch of dialogue that I feel like isn't needed. You know, it's just it was just a tad bit too long for me, because I started dozing off in the movie just a tad bit.
I feel like, I do agree that the pacing is a little bit all over the place, but in terms of how the movie actually is handled in its pacing is very similar to the original and how it told the story.
Fair.
So it's kind of like it didn't bother me as much because I kind of knew what to expect. A negative for me with this movie, definitely having seen the original, speaking of, is that it is derivative of the first one. Like, it almost, I wouldn't say it's a remake, but it's a very, almost like a not shot for shot even. It's just a lot of the story beats and just a lot of the things that happen are very in line with the original. Okay. The only things that are kind of different is really kind of sort of course, the scenes, the actual fight scenes, like in the actual arena, and the reason as to why our protagonist is even in there in the first place. But aside from that, it's pretty similar.
Yeah.
It's pretty one for one here. And I definitely do think that is a negative. I feel like for a movie that is coming so long after the original, I feel like they could have been a little bit more brainstorming and a little bit of more originality placed on it.
Yeah.
I think that this movie really does rely on the fact that it's different characters and it's kind of a different sort of plot, I guess you could say, in sort of how certain things occur, but what does occur overall is similar. So that's definitely a negative that I could throw at it. But, enough of that. Let's get to, I guess, what most people come for when it comes to a Gladiator movie, the actual arena fights. How did they hold up?
They weren't bad.
I agree. I mean, I like them. I like what they did. And people, I think this is controversial right now. The shark thing, that was crazy for sure. That was way out there. I enjoyed it, but of course I had to, suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
Had to throw that away because, I mean, that right there was absolutely ridiculous. You got sharks in the Coliseum. Why not just have a bunch of, fire everywhere and just, all kinds of foolishness? Shark in the arena, that's pretty implausible. How are you going to get a shark?
It's just like the whole, it's just like the whole boat battle in and of itself. I'm just like, what?
Yeah, it was ridiculous for sure. And then the baboons too at the beginning. Boy, I tell you, there's a meme behind baboons. Shit, them things were more aggressive than some of the apes in Planet of the Apes.
I key, man. Like that joke was scary. Like they killed off my boy Peter Mensa in the movie.
very, very fastly in the movie.
You already know how they
almost immediately.
His name was he played Jubartha in the movie, so I'm Peter Mensa. So
I think he got like his throat bit out or something like that.
Yeah, he got like the side of his neck. Yeah, something like that. I was so upset, man, because it's like you already know how they like to do us in the movies.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, what do you expect?
But anyway, I digress, man. But anyway, but like the whole arena fight scenes, it still wasn't bad though. It was just kind of dumb. Like
it was dumb, mindless fun. Like the first movie, it was kind of more believable to a degree, but the second one, this movie, kind of takes the concept of gladiator combat and goes way, way, way over the shark with it. And I didn't mind it, to be honest with you. No pun intended, but I mean, yeah, I didn't mind it. I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah, same here.
I can turn my brain off as long as it's entertaining. I don't mind it.
Yeah, I agree.
And I was good with it.
Like my thing was, it didn't really bother me, but I thought it was funny.
It's stuff I noticed, but it didn't bother me.
Right, yeah. The action, like I said, even when it's just regular action, the choreography was fine. The choreography was cool. I wish it was a tad bit more fast paced, but it's gladiator combat. So what else you want to, what more do you need? And it's like this one guy was riding a boar the whole time. That was a dope fight.
Yeah, I like that one.
And then everybody's like just putting their thumb down. I'm like, okay,
keeping us in like suspense and whatnot.
Yeah, and like even the fight with between Lucius and Acacius, that was a cool fight too. Yeah. Like and Acacius just fighting 3 people at one time. I'm like, yeah, this dope. This made me want to play For Honor.
Yeah, like the production value and the actual cinematography and the scope of everything is what really also made this movie good for me. Was just like how much work and effort was clearly put in. So I respect it on that merit. But yeah, I do agree that it is a little bit too derivative of the original. That's definitely my biggest complaint.
Yeah, I agree. That's all my biggest complaint is too. It's just some of the pacing, but. Other than that, like I personally give it like I give it I give it 8 out of 10. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I agree. I give it about an 80. 8 out of 10.
Yeah, like on a rating scale, it's smooth.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
It's a smooth.
It passes
right?
the vibe check for sure.
Most def, man. But it's like, but that's all I really got to say, dog.
Honestly, yeah. This movie was pretty much exactly what I expected it to be, and I wasn't mad at it for the most part. I really enjoyed Denzel in the movie. I really enjoyed all the actors. I liked the story, even though it was derivative. Pretty much, yeah, I was pretty much satisfied with it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, same.
I don't really have anything else to add to it.
Yeah, me neither. But with that being said, man, sure, we got more videos coming for y'all. You know, we got 102 subscribers now. So
yes, sir.
We appreciate y'all. We got 100 subscriber special coming up.
Very soon.
Very soon. Very much in the works. You know, we got to do what we got to do. But anyway, I've been Jay.
This has been Rodney.
And we're LATD, y'all. Remember, y'all, look at the details. Peace.